was like, oh my God, I just want the world to swallow me up. So we weren't, I wouldn't say we were new. I would say we were 2 years. I always think about it. So we've been going for nearly 6 years now. But I would say 4, because I think that's the first 2 years we didn't intentionally grow a business. It was like a side hustle.
Yeah.
So I would like to think that we've been going with intent for 4 years.
Yeah.
I would say the world-class basics come 6 months into the 4 years that I'm talking about. So probably 2.5 years after we opened the company. We were always doing it, obviously.
Yeah.
But we didn't know that was a thing.
I think probably as well, it come from just when we talk about world-class basics, it was more of a case of we were just doing what we thought that you should do. Like, we were just filling rooms quick. We were just making sure we put the right tenants in the houses and checking to make sure they're the right tenants. Like, we were so confused as to why people can't fill them. And I think at the start, we were relentless and we were like, get them in fast, get the holding deposits in, dress the rooms, we don't put an advert on if it looks shit because we're not going to get inquiries for it. So I think, and then we've always had that energy. So that's what our team's got now. Like, we celebrate the win of getting a room gone, but actually we've probably got hundreds and hundreds of rooms gone. But most agents just go, well, put the advert on, and they don't nurture the advert. They don't do what they need to do to make sure they're generating the inquiries. People just put adverts on now and expect inquiries to come through.
Maybe something to consider is something I've never thought about, but maybe our basics is someone else's, not their basics. Maybe we've got high minimum standards.
Yeah, I think we do.
Because I'm just thinking back. So what would we consider a basic? We take on a new property. That property to us isn't in the condition that we believe is going to serve the landlord best, which is provide the best return. It's also not going to provide a safe, nice home for the tenant to move into. So for us, a basic is to just tell the landlord and say, look, this is what we need to do. And if you do this, it'll be a really high performing property, which is the reason you bought the property.
Yeah.
Tenants will love living there. They'll stay for longer.
I think
that to us is a basic.
Yeah,
maybe that's not someone else's though, and that's why we've got high minimum standards and we call it world class basics, but actually maybe it's not.
And I think as well, just touching on what you've just said there, like when you're talking about what we say to the landlords, is like we do it because we care about their intent, not for the company. So like, if a landlord comes to us, we're not going to go and say to him, right, you need to knock these walls down. You need to do every single bathroom, every single kitchen, because actually we get a project management fee out of that. And that's what the business will make and profit from you doing these works. We don't see it as that. We look at the house and we go, okay, well, actually that bathroom's okay. Yeah, it might not be brand new, but it's okay. Let's clean it up. Let's do this. Let's do that. Let's do X, Y, Z to the kitchen and the other bathroom. And I can guarantee that we can fill it for this. And all the time we either fill it for that or we fill it for more. We never under-deliver in terms of go massively over budget and then go, I'm sorry, Mr. Landlord, we now can't fill the house. And I think that's where a lot of agents and companies go wrong, is they think too much about what that landlord's going to bring in from a profit point of view than actually looking at it from a point of view of like, what does this landlord need and how can we deliver exactly what he's looking for, and we do it. So then actually we're being transparent, totally honest, and deliver exactly what we say we're going to deliver.
Yeah, I think looping back to what we were saying before as well, we've got like obviously good relationships with people who are, I wouldn't say competition, but they're building student properties in Liverpool. Don't use us as an agency, just people that we know in the space.
Yeah.
Someone said to me in the past, you're now providing landlords a solution to not sell.
Yeah.
You're allowing them to keep the property because you're now showing them what it needs to make it work.
Yeah.
So we're taking stuff from we're removing things from their pipeline because they want to buy properties that are run down.
Yeah.
But instead we allow our landlord to keep the property, show them what needs to be done to reinvest into it. And again, that's just adding back to, again, the world-class basics things, but also, I don't even know what the point of that's.
No, that is a good point, because actually they're the moments sometimes that make me really proud, because I'm just talking about the Rocastle house. When we first took that on, it was in a bit of a bad state. There was no, it was there was hardly any communal space. You know, the furniture in there wasn't great at all. The house it just hadn't been loved at all. It hadn't been managed. It was a little bit of a mess. And actually, when we first took it on, we said to the landlord, look, if anyone can do it and fill it, it'll be us. So let's give it a shot. You know, we didn't go in there and rip walls down and rip kitchens out. We just went in and done what we needed to do to get the house up and running. And honest to God, the day that we showed a group of students round, because we'd done all pre-market and we had a waiting list full of tenants who were looking in that area, and we filled it with a group of students, and then we also filled it for the time being with working professional tenants as well, who were just looking for short term at the time. And honestly, it worked out so perfect that I was so proud to say to the landlord, look, you come to us literally about to sell this house because you were losing so much money on it. And we were totally honest with like, look, we can try and make it work. We can't promise anything, but this is what we expect. And we done it. We absolutely delivered and got the best thing out for that landlord. And he's completely changed his mind on selling and is happy to keep it and be student landlords. And I just think when we do things like that, I'm like, this is what we do it for. Like this is what like we're so good at. This is what gets me up in the morning.
One thing I do think we need to acknowledge though is actually, I do think it's luck, and we say this sometimes. We just know what works in terms of give us a house and we can go, no, don't put that furniture in, put that one in.
Yeah.
And don't paint it that colour, paint it that colour.
Yeah.
And we always say like, we don't know where we've got that from. That's not educated. That's not intent. We've not learned it.
I know.
We figured out that we knew through proof of concept, I guess.
Yeah.
That's probably one thing that has come natural to us, that we see time and time again. Landlords going through that experience with a different agent, putting in what works.
Yeah.
And it doesn't.
It doesn't, I know.
I also don't want to just sit here though and talk through all of our own case studies and success stories, because I guess it's not all sunshine and rainbows, but probably something that we don't talk about enough.
No, we don't. I don't think we do. So it's probably good. I don't think up until, and I'll be totally honest, up until maybe...
I've got a point where I felt like we were biting off more than we could chew, but I'm going to pause for now. Okay. Because we actually didn't go ahead with it.
So I think up until this year, I've never, and I don't think I'll ever think, let's pack it in. I just don't think I'm that way inclined at all. We put too much hard work in to ever do that. But I think it gets to a point sometimes, like, and it probably goes back to what Joe was saying before, is everyone knows how hard we work. We give everything for the business. And then something might happen where maybe, like Joe said, something, well, it's happening at the moment. We have an unhappy client, for example, who, you know, is unhappy about unrealistic things that actually we couldn't change and something that we've not done. And they're the moments where you think, well, what is the point in all this hard work when you do everything you can for the business and someone doesn't appreciate it maybe? I think they're the only moments where you could maybe feel like, oh, what's the point in all of this if we're not growing, or if that's not happening, or that's it. But I don't think I've ever thought, like, let's pack it in, ever.
Yeah, I think I probably have a mindset that doesn't do me well at times, in terms of I had run myself into the ground because these situations happen and I go, yeah, it's business though. Like, that's, if you're not stressed to your max, then you don't deserve to be in this position. Mm-hmm. I almost feel like, yeah, this is just what should happen. So when it gets like so hard and bad, I'm like, yeah, but this should happen. So if I can't deal with this, I should sell it now. And I think that mindset probably doesn't help at times. Mm. But it's also the reason why I've never thought about packing it in.
Yeah.
The time when I thought we were biting off more than we could chew, someone brought us a 30-bed HMO.
Oh, yeah.
On its way into the city centre. And we were going to take it on like a 10-year lease. Probably going to need 30, 40 grand renovation. But there was no proof of other properties in the area working. And it was just something that we'd probably spent about 6 weeks going back and forward to view it. We were almost about to send the contract and sign it.
Yeah.
And we pulled out last minute, but...
Because it just didn't feel right, did it? Because actually that could have been
such a
really
bad decision,
expensive mistake, couldn't it?
There's probably been loads, but Not loads of times to think about packing it in, but there's probably been loads of jumps where you've gone, oh, can we do this?
Yeah.
I think early on, I remember actually saying to you, we took on, I think we have 5 properties and we took on 2 on the same day. So we were liable for rent in 2 empty properties, coming out of COVID. I had about £1,000 in the bank, yet needed to find money to renovate an 8-bed and a 6-bed. I remember them, and we'd done most of the work ourselves.
Yeah.
Just to get tenants in, and then we go back in and we do more. That felt like a bit of a jump. I guess there's been loads of the moments throughout, but I don't know. We just back ourselves every time, don't we?
Yeah, that's it. And I think the only other times when maybe you could get frustrated as a business owner is maybe when, you know, you've got team members who kind of come and then go, and that always feels like a bit of a kickback, because actually you might hire the wrong person and that role doesn't fit for them, but that is like a massive financial and time impact on the business. And there may be the moments where you do think, oh, should we just go back to it just being me and Joe, where we know everything will kind of be done right and as it should be?
Can't lie, right? You said that a few times, haven't you?
Yeah.
Should we just fuck it off and just do it together? Do it all ourselves?
Yeah.
You were like, I know I could run 600 rooms. We should just do it. But I think having a business, it's only normal that you have moments like that. It lasts for about 2 minutes and then you're like, right,
then you go, hang on.
Give me a double. What am I doing?
Yeah. But let's remember what we're doing it for. And I think that's where it all just comes back to like the right systems and processes, because, you know, you look at all of these massive companies out there who have thousands and thousands of people working for them, and the companies work, well, they've got solid systems and processes. I think we've ran so much on just like the vibes in the team, and honestly, the team we've got now, like, I'm so lucky to have such a good team around us. But, you know, there will be times where we do get bigger and hopefully expand to different cities, and you're going to grow, and you're not going to have that team who've been there from the off in that startup grind kind of environment. And I think that's where your systems and process really test whether your business is going to work or not, because actually without that, well, then we could put all this hard work in now, and if we grow in the next 5 years and don't make sure them things are in place, well, then it's only going to go one way, and that's not going to be up. So
yeah, I was going to add something to it, but it's not relevant. I was thinking maybe it was a bit of a gamble to take on. I think in 2024 we doubled the business. We grew by, I think, 80%.
Wow,
in terms of properties or rooms
crazy,
managed. Yeah. But we signed a lease with the landlord for about 7 properties, and we had to do all renovations at once, and it was a painful time financially, but I don't think that felt like a risk, did it really?
No, not at all. Because I think, again, we were just crazy. We were busy. We all just got stuck in and we renovated them and we filled them. We just had that relentless mindset. And I think that's why, as well, we always say how lucky we are for our team, because they just jump on board with that, don't they? In busy periods, they're like, fuck it, let's go, let's fill it. You'll probably say you're not satisfied, but you're always striving for more. And actually, I'm probably more of the one who is like the one who will reflect. And Joe goes, yeah, cool, sound, whatever. Like, even the other day when I was like, oh my God, we've been together like 9 years. And he goes like, sound, yeah, what's for tea? Do you know what I mean? He's just constantly like that. And obviously that's a good thing in business. But actually yesterday when I'd done the post on Cosi and I was going back to all of our offices and I was looking at the little 250 square foot office, I thought that was absolutely huge. I think the whiteboard was about this big. But that felt like a massive moment for us. And actually now being in the office that we're in, I'm like, oh my God, like we have come so far. And like, look where we're at. Like at one point we wanted 100 rooms. Now we've got 100 houses, which is crazy. And I think sometimes, and I said this on a LinkedIn post, like it is really cliche to say you don't realise how far until you've looked back, how far you've come until you've looked back. And actually it's probably more things that you should do more often.
I struggle to answer that. I'm really not built that way to look back and reflect, am I?
No, not at all.
Deeply struggle to do it. But do you know what I think it is? I know deeply within me that we're genuinely the best option for the landlord with the right intentions, who's got a HMO in an area that we operate. So much so that if someone was to come to us tomorrow with 500 rooms and double the business, it sounds mad, but I'd be like, they should do.
Yeah.
Because they're making a decision that's going to benefit them, not us, them.
Yeah.
And I think every time, maybe I think we said 100 rooms was a goal, then it was 250 and then 500.
Yeah.
But since then, it's just like the landlord should come to us because they're going to make the most money if they use Cosi as the agent.
Yeah.
I don't know. I struggle to reflect though.
You do. You really struggle to reflect. Maybe that's something that we can work on for you and Polly. Maybe we should have a reflection.
I'm all right, you know.
A reflection session. No, and it's not a bad thing. I think that's part and parcel, isn't it? Of being a business owner, you're always looking forward. You forget to look back.
I find that hard because we started by not rolling the dice, but we just had a go at something.
Yeah.
Literally, we just had a go. And then it worked, done it again.
Yeah.
Worked, done it again. And before you knew it, we had 50 rooms. And it was only then we felt like we started the business. So we almost had the proof that it was going to work. So it felt like less of a gamble.
Yeah.
We didn't have the intent to grow an agency that we've got now. So it almost feels like we're one of them stories that we ended up here almost.
Yeah.
So it feels like it's hard to go to do
advice.
that. That's what you need to do. I think sometimes people and young people can force it too much. And 3 years later, they're back worse than where they were when they stopped doing what they were doing.
Yeah. I think a big thing is as well that we spent certainly a lot more time than I think most business owners do in investing a lot back into the company. I think a lot of business owners can kind of feel like, right, they'll take every single bit of profit, but then still expect the business to grow at the rate you want it to grow at. Whereas we never really done that, did we? We've never been greedy with taking it all out the business. Everything has been for Cosi. You know, let's keep it all in the business. Let's grow it. Let's invest what we need to do in the best equipment. Let's make sure we've got the best systems, you know, the best equipment for the team to work off. Those type of things. Let's pay for the best content, the best professional photographs, all of those type of things. I think we've always invested in the business to make sure that we've got the money to do that. And I think that's important because you take too much out, you don't leave enough in to actually provide the business with what it needs to grow. So I think that would be my advice.
What?
Like,
what's the advice?
The advice is like your business should eat first and then you later.
Business goes to lunch first.
Business, yeah. Business first. Don't take it all out. Keep it all in and then take it out when you can.
I would say it's got an answer for each of us.
Yeah.
I would say, Liv was talking about this before, Liv is overly positively optimistic, but naively, I would say sometimes. So I play the role of being more pessimistic in a scenario because I know Liv's all the way over here. So I'm trying to bring us back to the centre a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, for example, if we go to Bali and Liv's like, we're going. And I was like, based on what though? The Qatar airspace is shut. And she's like, I don't care, we're going. I'm like, yeah, but
we are.
If the airspace is shut, like, how are we going to get there? And she's like, I don't know, but we're going. I'm like, right, okay. So I'll try and bring like the other side just to, not necessarily that's my default, but just to make sure that we've got a balanced argument between us. Maybe in terms of new landlords, a new service or new business and growth, maybe more me.
Yeah.
But that's probably because that's more along the lines of what I do.
Yeah.
So it's probably two answers to that question.
Yeah, I know. It's hard. Because I don't know whether I'd say like, I don't know how I'd say either of us. It's hard, isn't it? That one, but
if you want something to happen emotionally, maybe not emotionally, but if you want it to happen,
I'll make it happen.
You know, you'd say though it will happen.
Yeah.
Even if it wouldn't and it would be too much of a risk, you'd take the risk.
Yeah.
Because you think it will happen.
Yeah, I would, yeah. Yeah, I would. Like kind of, we're taking on a house, like maybe Joe's been a bit like, should we take on this house? Like it's a little bit outside of like the area maybe that we would usually take. I'm like taking on a villa. Joe.
Are you messing? Me? What do you mean?
I think...
Okay, there's probably two answers for this.
Like, Joe would go, let's go and buy like 750 pens from this cool website because the pens are cool. And they're like
Random matters though.
Not with pens. I'm not spending almost £1,000 on pens because they're cool. When the team just snap them anyway.
I think I put a lot of value on things being done properly, even if we haven't got the budget for it though.
Yeah, but there's doing it properly and then there's pens.
No, I agree.
So I think that's where I would say you...
Like recently, the wires behind the desks were burning my head out. They were so annoying. I hate wires. I hate like things just not being in place.
So do you know what he done? Replaced every single screen. Every single screen.
Because it reduced to one wire on each screen. And it looks well better. It looks sick.
To be honest, the screens do look better and they are better screens. But like, that's like the level of like, what? Why have you just done that, you freak? But
where does she give Liv a budget for a refurb and best believe it's going over?
Best believe, because I know the one you're talking about and it's Arundel Avenue. Best believe it is the best house here. And
Every
I done the
single one.
renovation and then I went massively over budget, yeah, but it's a banging refurb.
That makes sense then,
I'm
doesn't
only
it?
kidding. I think, yeah, I can get carried away with refurbs, but not our landlords ones. I am on budget for them. When it does, I'll go over budget on them ones because. But then on the other hand, Joe will say, you know, I don't mind going over budget on these little things because actually it makes a big difference. So I'd say keep the bathroom in. The bathroom's all right. You know, let's spend a bit more on this and this. And then he goes, no, but let's think about it for like the long term. We'll put a new bathroom in. So then he goes and spends some money on a new bathroom. But I want to spend the money on nice other bits of furniture. So I think, yeah.
We'll be here all day, so move on.
Okay, but who spends the most money, would you say then?
Who spends the most money?
Yeah.
I'd say me.
Yeah. Just like mad things. Like he's like, I've just signed up to the software, it's this, but then justify it. Gale maths. He's very good at Gale mathing. He is, yeah. Gale math me into it, which is fine when it's like things for like, oh, house or holidays. I'm like, okay, let's do it. I'm on board. Let's Gale math.
I wouldn't say, obviously we need to give it an answer, but no year as a whole has been the most stressful.
Yeah.
There's probably been particularly stressful moments in years that may make it the most stressful year.
When you reflect back, is there a particular year where, you know, I know you said it's moments more, but a particular year where you go, oh, that was the hardest year?
Maybe I'd say the first student changeover that
Really,
was
yeah?
properly, not stressful, but when it was just when we were a team member short because someone left unexpectedly. And we didn't really have we didn't really have the right like system or like not even system and process. We didn't put a plan together. We thought
we did
that
though,
we could wing it.
We relied on everyone who was part of the plan doing what they said they're going to do.
Yeah.
When you've got your own business or you're in property, you need a plan for when everyone who said they're going to do doesn't do what they're going to do.
Yeah.
Everyone who said what they're going to do, they don't do it, basically. You need a plan for when that happens.
Yeah.
Because that always happens.
And I think as well, that's probably, as a business owner, something you need to learn because that really stresses you out. Because we do what we say we're going to do when other companies and people don't do it, it annoys you because you think, I don't know why you won't just do what you've said you're going to do. But that one year, there was 3 of us and we had, you know, houses who the system, actually, there was things on the system, there were mistakes on the system that said that their move out date was the 30th, but their move out date was actually the 26th, and we were going off what the contract says and they were going off what the system said. So we were turning up on the 30th, on the 26th, sorry, and some tenants were on holiday, some were there, like one person was even in the shower, come down in his towel, and I was like, you're meant to be gone, and he was like, not, we're here till, 2 days, and that was probably really stressful because we were relying on like everything being right and the tenants who have left. We were relying on cleaners to turn up the next day who cancelled on us the day before. We were relying on the fact that we should have had 4 of us in the team and we had 3. And we were then trying to manage probably 200 students, 200 or 300 students moving in. We had an office in Speaks. We were back and forth. We were trying to, it was chaos. And then we had loads of unhappy people who moved in. The houses weren't quite right.
Felt a little bit like that year as well. The academic year, for the first 3 months, we were rebuilding relationships, weren't we?
Yeah, because we had to, and this sounds awful to admit, but I guess you've got to be honest.
You're going to talk about the spreadsheet?
The spreadsheet, yeah. We had a spreadsheet and basically we colour coded it and it was like unhappy.
It was like a traffic light system, green, amber, red, and if green was like they were happy they moved in successfully. This is like 2 hours after we've moved everyone in. We were sat in a coffee shop on Smithdown.
Yeah.
The 3 of us, green, amber, red, and all the reds were unhappy people. And it was just full of reds.
And we actually had an amber of like, they're unhappy, but they're not as unhappy as you unhappy is.
It was a bit more like it didn't go well, but they haven't said anything.
Yeah.
And we were like, that's good for now.
Yeah. And honestly, they were all red, and I just ended up looking like we'd actually killed ourselves as well. Like, we'd worked around the clock, but we got so many things wrong. And I was like, I'm so gutted that the start of their academic year has just been filled with loads of problems. And honest to God, the phone was ringing off the hook. We had loads of complaints, and I was just like, oh, this is so much stress and just not how we planned it. And the year after, honest to God, like, and it was weird because then we had more.
Do you know what, though, you say the year after, right? The year after was stressful.
Yeah, it was, but we didn't have a phone call, not one phone call. And because of how bad the year before was, I was sat there looking at the phone.
You're getting the years mixed up, you know.
I'm not.
You are. You said it was Ella's first year. When we sat in the coffee shop, it wasn't.
Oh, yeah.
So the first year was stressful.
Because of all of those things.
We went into it naively. We expected all the suppliers, contractors and cleaners, basically, who were scheduled, told us they were doing cleans and stuff like that. We turn up the morning of. They hadn't been yesterday. They were like, oh, we couldn't get in and all this. So naively just trusted too many people at once, and it didn't go to plan.
No.
And we had people literally, I say people like groups of 12, 6 students, 6 mums, 6 dads, 18 people stood behind us. And I remember going into this one house.
He just put me right in it as well, by the way. He just got off. And
in terms of talking before, like who's more positive, I guess, or something, but Liv is the person who will fix a problem in the moment. She's just a fixer. So I walked into this house and it was up the wall. It was just like the old tenants had left it. It wasn't good at all. And I just knew all these people were behind me. And in that moment, I was like, I do not know what to turn around and say. And it must have been a 20 metre from the front door to the back of the kitchen. I didn't turn around once. I just carried on walking straight the whole time going, what do I say? What do I say? And I just turned around and was like, this is so shit. I'm sorry. It's not being cleaned. I was like, let me ring me manager. She'll be here in a minute. So I've gone outside and rang Liv. Next minute, the neighbours come out going, I can't believe you are moving into this property because this landlord's a knobhead. He doesn't fix nothing. And I was like, oh my God, I just want the world to swallow me up.
I had to
but then at the same time, I was at a different property and that's what I'd turned up there for, to sort this problem out. But I'd taken the keys from the other house. So then I've created the situation at the other house because Taylor was there and couldn't move in with them tenants because I've got the keys. So I'm like, my phone's buzzing. I've got all these people fuming. You're on your way. So as soon as you turned up, I had to shoot. You had to fix that problem. And it was just like chaos. Yeah, so that's why we got back and made the traffic light system. But even the next year, it was just someone left just before changeover. So we were understaffed essentially.
Yeah.
Probably a story from another time, but one of our housemates passed away on the day of changeover and that was tough.
That was
probably the hardest,
really
hardest moment to deal with in the business.
Yeah, 1,000,000%. That was horrendous.
But if you were to go most stressful year, it's probably not any year, it's every single changeover. And we just probably ordered them in a different rank.
Yeah.
But the most recent one was the best by far.
It was. But even the one just after all of them problems, like honestly, the phone didn't ring. So it was chaos for us and we've improved things internally. But actually so many people were happy and we went, didn't we? It was me, you and Elle, and we sat and had like steak and chips and a pint and a large glass of wine at the same time because that's what you need in changeover. But I was looking at my phone and I was going on to Coho and I was looking at my phone and I was like on the messaging centre and I was like, everyone's happy.
We were like, why the hell is no one ringing fuming?
No one's unhappy. Like no one's unhappy. So we were so happy, weren't we? And then obviously then last year was insane. Everyone coming to the office, everyone was really pleased and I was just like, yes, we've got it. But no doubt that, it's going to be chaos again. But every year, as long as we don't have an unhappy spreadsheet, then I'm happy with that. Said happy about 27 million times. Rebrand.
Yeah, as a wide big decision, one big decision, definitely the rebrand.
Yeah.
That was the best.
1,000,000%. That just changed the game. It's exactly who we are. And so many people have said, like, your rebrand's so cool. Like, when you done that, it was,
I would say though, there's been loads of like small decisions that have made a monumental difference to how we operate, the success of where we are now. Yeah. Whether it's saying yes to a landlord or him going, the price you've offered me doesn't work, can you go up by this? And us being like, well, it doesn't make sense financially, but we believe it'll benefit the business for these other reasons. So let's just say yeah.
Yeah.
And like what that's done now in hindsight. So there's things like that.
Yeah. But if you'd have to
the
say
office location, loads of little small decisions that we've made that have made a big difference. But the one big one is the rebrand.
The rebrand, yeah.